Good morning. My name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. No, not that kind of yoga. um, this is beginning, what is this? It's Monday morning. This is morning energy yoga. I have had my coffee, believe it or not. Excuse me. Little Monday morning clear out of the lungs. If you haven't joined us before, you're just joining us for the first time. It's the sexy side of yoga that no one talks about, right? Phlegm. Anyway, we are going to get ourselves up and moving today. That's the goal of the practice. So, taking a moment to get ourselves started. Comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. It could be one leg out, it could be one leg in, it could be both legs out. You could tuck a bolster or a blanket underneath your legs. As comfortable as you can be on the mat. This happens to work for me. If you're going to sit cross-legged, please unstack like crisscross applesauce. You can see that automatically reinforces imbalance between your hips. If you want to sit like this and you want to kind of encourage a little gentle stretching of the hips and work yourself into, a little bit more flexibility, and this, you feel like you're way up here with your knees, you can tuck a block or a blanket or a towel underneath your legs so that you can let your legs relax. We're going to take a moment to pull our attention and awareness from the external to the internal. Take in a scan of the body. I'm Julia, by the way, if I didn't say that before. It gets better, I promise. Okay. Pulling our attention and awareness from the external to the internal, taking a scan of the body, checking in, state and quality of the physical form. Maybe you did a bunch of work over the weekend, or you went out and had a lot of fun. It might be playing out on your body. We just want to give our body a chance to communicate those things to us. We're going to pull our attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. And we want to check in with, maybe we're not awake, and that is perfectly understandable, but maybe we already woke up and our to-do list is starting to pound on our attention. And we want to slide any of those things that are starting to wake up off to the side. We're going to create a nice, clear, open field of thought for the practice, so that we can spend our time only here on the mat. We're going to move that silence into the attention of our breath. And traditionally in yoga, well, let's just notice the intuitive rhythm. I'm jumping ahead. Pay attention to the state and quality of your natural length of breath, inhale and exhale, just noticing. And now we're going to invite that breath to get a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. And traditionally in yoga, we breathe into and out of the nose. But if you are having breathing issues or you're having sinus issues, just breathe. But we want to increase the length of the breath and match the length of inhale to length of exhale. Wherever you are on the rhythm and length of that breath, let's reach down toward the mat. We're going to add an arm sweep to the next inhale. So we want to connect the speed of the movement of our body to the length and balance of that breath. We're going to come up through our stretch and we're going to take a first extension, lateral extension. So I'm going to drop my fingers down. I'm going to the right side first, keeping the space from ear to shoulder open, little lift of the rib cage. Just take that gentle reach toward the ceiling. We're going to switch sides. So we're just moving, inhaling through center and exhaling with the reach. We're going to take one more repetition in both directions. And then let's lengthen up through our inhale. I'm going to take our first forward fold, tracing fingers down, tuck in the chin. We're going to rest the body weight on the elbows. This is an excellent place first thing in the morning for the block. But you can rest your elbows on your knees, your calves, the ankles, the block, or the floor. Wiggle the toes, relax the feet. Let's tuck the chin against the chest. And with our next inhale, let's lengthen arms, walking hands back toward the body, taking our sweep up toward the ceiling. We're going to release palms open, little shrug of the shoulders, soften the elbows. Let's take those thumbs back behind the body, bow the chin forward. And now let's release the fingertips toward the mat, tucking hands next to hips, palms facing backward, bowing chin forward more deeply. We're going to take a head tilt. So let's just take a ear over toward the shoulder, letting the weight of the head stretch that space from behind the ear, down the neck, and across the top of the shoulder cap. Releasing the chin slowly toward the chest. We're going to shift the direction of our lean. And then let's release that down. We're going to do that one more time in both directions. If you feel like you've got a little, I call it a hitch in the giddy up, but this is really not your giddy up. You can lift the chin a little and lengthen through the front of the neck. You can tuck the chin a little and shift that stretch a little bit further behind the neck. Just notice the energy through that stretch. Let's bow towards center and shift. Let's release chin forward. We're going to trace fingertips all the way around the front of the body and slowly stack cervical spine. If you happen to be sitting cross-legged, we're going to change the cross of the legs. If you have one leg out, switch the legs. If you're sitting with your legs forward, you're all good. All right, let's take our inhale up. Nice big stretch through the ceiling. We're going to touch the hands together, but keep your elbows wide because I want to keep that space between your ear and your shoulder. And I want you to take the thumbs and aim them toward the center of your back, keeping the chest lifted, slight engagement of the core. Open the elbows, drop the shoulders. Big stretch through rhomboids and pecs, maybe up the biceps if you're or triceps if you're very tight. Inhaling, we're going to come over and drop those fingertips forward for a little bow. Tuck the chin against the chest. Inhaling up, that was a terrible breathing cue. Placing hands together, tuck a little deeper into the elbows, right? Open the shoulders, shrug the shoulders down, take those thumbs and reach them back toward the center of the chest. Not your chest, your back. Hey, listen, this is a high quality yoga production here. Inhaling. Okay, exhale, scoop the belly. Let's trace down through those fingers. Just take this little bow. We're gonna do that one more time. Get really tall through the spine. Press the hands together. Drop so that those elbows are open. You've got space between the ears and the shoulders. We're gonna aim those thumbs back behind the head. Inhaling up, let's take our fold. We're going to inhale through a nice long stretch of the spine, and then we're taking a full forward fold. So trace the fingers down, rolling through the chin. We're resting the body weight on the elbows. Find that place that is going to allow you to take your breathing in the stay. Wiggle the toes, tuck the chin, unclench the teeth. With our next inhale, lengthening the arms, we're walking hands back, taking a stretch up to the ceiling. Let's release those palms open. Shrug those shoulders, soft bend in the elbows. Take the thumbs back behind you here. Releasing fingertips down towards the hips. Let's tuck hands back, bowing chin forward, and we're going to take those lateral extensions with the head. So just tilt the ear over. Releasing chin to center and then changing the tilt. And let's do that one more time in both directions. We're going to release chin forward, tracing fingertips around the front of the body and slowly stacking cervical spine. I'm going to move to hands and knees. I like to pad my knees with a blanket. If you have a block, now's a great time to put it out in front of the end of your mat. If you don't have a blanket, no worry, or blanket, that thing. If you don't have that thing, don't worry about it. I'll offer you a cue without it. Ooh. All right, we're going to take our fists and rest them side by side and place our knees to either side of our hands. It's a little wider than probably normal stance to hands and knees. I want you to keep your hips 90 degrees over the knees, but we're going to move our hands from 90 degrees here under the shoulders out a half to a full palm's length. That takes the pressure off of your wrists, relieves some of the carpal tunnel stress, and it lets us soften our elbows and relax our shoulders away from the ears so we can create long space in the chest and the neck and the spine. We're going to work a little Chakravakasana bow. So let's inhale through here, flat back, no cow arching here. Releasing chin forward, taking the elbows to the mat, scoop the belly, now tuck the tailbone and reach back towards the heels as we bow toward the floor. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Going to inhale forward. Soften those elbows. My hands are about a little wider than thumb width from the edge of the mat. That keeps my chest open, and it lets me get this nice lovely space between the ear and the shoulder rather than compressing that space up. And one more time. Wiggle those fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Inhaling forward. Let's go ahead and take our WTF lean, oxen lean. Push that hip out. Look over shoulder. Inhaling and switch. We're going to do that 2 more times in both directions. Let's come through center. Give me an angry cat tuck. Tuck in the chin, tuck in the tailbone. I'm soft in the elbows. I'm going to arch my back up toward the ceiling and lean into the heels just a little. Inhaling through center, let's take our Chakravarkasana bow. Tucking chin, releasing those forearms. Now scoop the belly up toward the spine and lean those hips back toward the heels. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. We're going to inhale forward and take an oxen lean. WTF. I don't like to be compared to bovine livestock. Coming through center, let's take our angry cat tuck. Now we're going to work a little modified thread the needle. So let's open up the arm. I'm opening up to the left, engaging the core. Soft in this supporting elbow. But I want to stretch open in that external reach. Now I'm going to trace my hand around the chest and try to touch the opposite shoulder. We're going to do that 2 more times. So big inhale up, reach, twist the body open. Trace the palm right across the pecs and wrap it around to try and touch the back of the other shoulder. 1 more time. Let's unwind it. Take that stretch up. We're going to replace that hand and switch sides. So let's open up to the right. Keeping shrugged out of the shoulder, we want to keep that tension. Keep that space open. One more time. Okay, we're going to take our final reach to replace that hand and come on down to the mat. Big inhale here, Chakravarkasana bow. Tuck the chin, release the elbows. Reach back with the hips, little rock side to side this time. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Let's come forward and take our what the fuck lean. Push out over hip. And to the other side. Coming through center, angry cat tuck. Inhaling through flat back, let's take that reach up and wrap that arm around. Reaching on up, let's drop into the heels, lean back, and now reach those fingertips far away from each other. Like I'm supporting my hand down on the mat. My weight is in the core, but I'm reaching back and open. Coming on down, take the left hand out far, take the left knee back far, rest yourself right on the right elbow and lean away from the heel of that hand. Give me that stretch through the lateral space elbow to shoulder, shoulder to hip. All right, we're gonna bring the hand back in, rebalance hands and knees. We're gonna take the left arm out, big reach. Wrap those fingertips around the body to touch the opposite shoulder. Coming on out, I'm gonna drop back into the heels and then lengthen that reach away. Bring that right hand forward, overextend it. Bring the right knee back. I'm gonna rest my weight to the forearm right under my shoulder. Bow the head. Now really press into the mat with the heel of this extended arm. The heel of the right hand. That was a better word, right? Better description. And lean away from that stretch. We're going to bring that hand in. Bring the right knee up. Let's take our Chakravarkasana bow. Nice power inhale. Right at center. Releasing chin. Taking the forearms down. Let those hips track back. Wiggle the fingers. Roll the wrists. Make some fists. All right, we're going to come forward. Soften the elbows to tuck the toes. We're going to come up for a runner stretch. So I'm pressing into the feet. I'm going to recenter the weight of my body onto the balls of the feet and behind the heels of my hands. Soften those elbows. Shrug the shoulders down. Let's push down into a heel. Nice power stretch here through the calves. And switch. One more time. All right, let's bring knees down to the mat. Release the body for child's pose. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. Make some fists. Coming on forward through our flat back inhale. Let's take our WTF lean. And switch. Coming through center, big angry cat tuck. All right, let's reach out to the left. Take that big extension. Engage the core, wrap it around. Tuck those fingers right around the other shoulder. All right, I'm going to inhale back. I'm dropping into the heels. I'm going to reach away from the supporting hand on the mat. Take that big long stretch. And let's bring that left hand forward, overextend it. Bring the left knee back. Rest to the right elbow. Drop into this bow. I'm dragging my body back away from the extension of that left arm. Bring the left hand in. Bring the left knee up. We're going to the right. Big reach open. Wrap around. All right, inhale. Drop those hips back. Reach up and away. Really twist through the upper body. Drop that shoulder away from the ear. All right, right hand's going out in front of us. Right knee's going back. I'm resting to the left elbow. Bow and reach the hip away from the wrist. I'm gonna bring the right hand in. I'm gonna bring the right knee up. I'm gonna tuck the toes and press up into that runner stretch. So recenter the center of the feet. That was a terrible sentence. Rebalance the weight to the center of the balls of the feet. Soften the elbows. Shrug the shoulders down and away. Push into a heel. And switch. One more time. And again. Reach up through the balls of the feet. Lift those heels up. Bring the heels back. We're going to come down to the knees. We're going to take the left foot forward. So I'm going to sweep it around to the outside of my body and worm it forward so we can go into a gentle Ekapada Ustrasana. Now, this is a great place for the block if you're feeling very tight. Otherwise, I want you to keep your knee back behind the heel. I'm pressing, forward into the opposite hip. You control the strength of this stretch by the placement of the hips. Let's take a little extension of the knee. Soft there. Don't go deep into this one first where we haven't really worked into our hamstrings. So keep that knee bend a little, over exaggerated. And I would stay up out of the shallow bow. We're just letting that stretch happen easily. All right, I'm going to come off that weight. I'm balancing heel to hip. I'm going to worm that foot back and take little child's pose. We're going to readjust side to side. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Coming on forward, let's take the right leg out. I'm going to worm it around, sweep it through, and then just worm that foot forward. I'm going to press forward into the heel. Once again, you control the strength of this stretch through the left hip by the placement or the depth of the weight. If you're shifting your hip back, you're taking a little bit off. If you shift your weight forward, you're deepening the stretch. Just make sure you're keeping your knee behind the ankle. Now let's extend the front leg. And again, keeping that knee a little exaggerated, the bend in the knee a little exaggerated. Just find that place where you're just getting the initial stretch into the hamstring. All right, I'm going to take the weight off that hip. I'm going to heel toe that leg back around. I'm going to release a little bit into child's pose. So let's just take the hips back, a little sway side to side. Open up those elbows and take it back. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Okay, we're coming through hands and knees. We're going to take our WTF lean. Push that hip out over to one side. And shift. Coming through center, angry cat tuck. Inhaling, let's go to the left side. Big reach open. All right, this time we're going to take our fingertips and tuck them to the mat. I'm going to turn them out and just put the length of my fingers right off the edge of the mat. Rest to this elbow. And now lean away, Stay open in the shoulder. We're not folding. This is about as close to thread the needle as I'm gonna take anybody. To keep the space between the bicep and the chest open and to get a more effective stretch through the lat and the rhomboids. If you lay in a full thread the needle, you're just compressing the radial nerve, and we don't need any extra compression there. All right, I'm going to open up and lean back. Take that nice, lovely stretch open. We want to create openness in the space in the chest and the shoulder. Left arm is going to go out. Left knee goes back. Let's rest to the elbow. Release the body back. I want you to engage the heel of the hand. Spread the fingers this time. Bow the chin and draw the hip back away from the wrist. We're going to bring the hand in, bring the knee up, and take a little child's pose. Inhaling forward. Let's take the right arm out, big reach open. Wrap it around. Open and extend. And we're going to take those fingers. Now I'm aiming the fingers away to the opposite side of the mat. I'm just taking that hand, the length of the fingers off the edge. Rest on that right elbow. Stay lifted. And now just lean the upper body away. Inhaling and lengthen it out. All right. Right hand out, right knee back. Rest the forearm to the mat. Bow the head. Let's lean back away. I'm going to actually worm my arm a little further away from my rib cage. Relax that shoulder down and away from the ear. It's a little external rotation of the shoulder girdle to get that stretch right in the teres minor through the lats and the obliques. Bring the hand in, rebalance it up. Let's take a little child's pose. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. All right, we're going to come forward to tuck the toes and press up for a runner stretch. Recenter the weight to the balls of the feet. That means I have to step in, push down into a heel. I'm soft in my elbows. I'm looking at my feet. My shoulders are open and drawn away from my ears. I'm pressed up out of the chest. I'm not hanging in the shoulder girdle. And switch. We're going to do that again. And switch. All right, we're going to take the left leg up. Reach it out. Big three-legged dog here. Bend the knee. Let that toe drift back across the opposite hip. All right, we're going to bring that foot down, and now we're going to transition up to our Akapata. So I'm sweeping around. We're just increasing the energy in the body. Come on down with the knee. Worm that foot forward and press into our Akapata Ustrasana. Slowly lengthen that leg. Soften the knee. You might get a little bit more room out of that hamstring. We don't want to overstretch. Pressing forward into that heel again. All right, we're gonna take this foot, we're gonna heel toe it all the way around, and I'm gonna rotate my right knee so that I'm balanced on that leg. I'm gonna come down to the elbow on my right side. So I've got stability through the left foot. I'm on the slight outside edge of my right knee. I want you to open the body toward the ceiling, reach on up, and now hook that arm up and over. Press the hips forward. Give me a nice long lateral extension. Shrug those shoulders down, slight together. You're going to feel that work through the chest and the upper back. Bring the arm down to the hip first. Roll it over. Let's take a little child's pose. Little rock side to side. Wiggle fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. All right, we're going to come through hands and knees. We're going to tuck the toes. Press on up. Recenter the weight to the balls of the feet. Soft in the elbows, soft in the knees. Shrug those shoulders down away from the ears. Take your runner stretch. Push into a heel. And switch. One more time in both directions. All right, I'm taking my right leg up. Big long reach. Three-legged dog. Let that knee bend. Take the toe back a little bit behind the opposite hip. Soften my elbows. We're going to bring the toe down. I'm going to reach around and come into my position for Ekapada Ustrasana. Worm that foot forward. Press into the heel. Lengthen that leg, soft bend in the knee. You can give yourself a little more extension, but keep that knee relaxed. Don't hyperextend. To increase the length or the strength of the stretch, you can take a little deeper bow. All right, we're going to rebalance the weight. I'm going to slide that foot in a little bit. I'm going to heel toe it around, and now this is where I'm shifting. I'm going to rotate the right foot back, the left leg around. I'm coming to the left elbow. I'm going to rotate and press the hips forward, reach up first, get overextended, lift up out of that shoulder, and then take this nice long extension. Keep that shoulder shrugged down and away from the ear. And lift up and out of that supporting arm, up and out of that supporting shoulder. Bring that hand down to the hip first. Roll over. Readjust. Let's take a little child's pose. Relax. A little slide right to left. And then come on down. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. All right, we're going to slide ourselves back a little deeper into the heels. I want you to work your elbows out into a goalpost position, palms down. I'm going to rest my body down, turning my head to rest on one side, and then really wiggle those elbows far away from the center of the chest, keeping it 90 degrees in that goalpost position, and taking this extra little stretch through bicep and the internal rotation of the shoulder. Pecs. All right, work those hands in first. I'm gonna lift and change the press of my head. And now I'm gonna work my hands out again. Give yourself a little more space between elbow to shoulder, shoulder to other side. And walk those hands in. Press the body up. We're gonna move ourselves to the end of the mat. And I'm gonna come down to my back. I'm gonna grab a quick drink of water. Now I'm gonna grab my strap. If you don't have a strap, don't worry about it. You don't need one. I can cue without. I'm just working it today. Let's come on down. Woo, take a little sway side to side. How are we feeling? Feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I can just get my brain jump started. It'll be good. All right. So first, I want you to take those elbows out. Give me that stretch that we just did in our bow. Palms up this time, and feel the length. So I really want you to engage the muscles to draw elbows out and away. I'm gonna slide hands up in a diamond shape, keeping everything engaged. The shoulders are pressed, the scapula are pressed down into the mat, and just try to touch the fingertips together. And now I'm gonna take that same angle, open up, press those shoulder blades down into the mat, and now slide elbows toward the rib cage. Like it. All right, bring those hands, palms together. Reach the shoulders off the mat. I'm just gonna interlace my fingers. I'm drawing away, my hands away from each other. Little reach here. All right, I'm gonna bring the right knee up and give it a squeeze. Two hands over that knee, press into the left foot. I'm gonna release that and switch. All right, let's lengthen legs, lengthen arms. Take that big recline stretch. And slide those hands down. I'm gonna lift the left leg, press the heel up toward the ceiling. Now, if you have a strap, now's the time to just loop it over the arch. If you do not have a strap, just interlace the fingertips right somewhere behind the thigh, the hamstring. Soft bend in that knee, dorsiflex the toes. That means aim them up towards the shin. Push that heel toward the ceiling. We're just taking gentle leverage here. We didn't do a lot of leg work, so we just want to, muscles need to be warmed up before we do any deep stretching. We want to just take a little extra length through the hamstring this morning. Release a little bit of that tension off the leg. And now if you have a strap, take your right hand to both ends of the strap, and we're going to take it across the body for the twist. If you don't have a strap, just hook the fingers around the top of the knee to the outside of the leg, and we're going to just reach on over. And let's draw up. Bring that knee in, get a little squeeze. Lengthen it out. All right. Same thing. Take a little rock side to side with the hips. Right leg. Lift the right leg. Press up into the ceiling with the heel. Soft bend in this knee. Dorsiflex the toes. If you have a strap, arch that right over, or loop it right over the arch of the foot. If you don't, let's just interlace fingers right behind the leg. I know I said I was going to use a strap, but it's over there. A lot of energy. All right, I'm going to either take the left hand to the ends of the strap, or I'm going to hook the left hand across the leg, over the top of the knee, and we're going to take that leg across for that twist. And let's unwind it, give that knee a squeeze. All right, take a little hug of both knees. Rock and roll the ankles, wiggle the toes. Little side to side rock. Take a scan of the body. Here's where you're going to take a little extra stretch. Maybe you have a favorite one that we haven't done. Maybe all of this work has shown you or drawn your attention to something in your body that needs a little extra maneuvering. So give yourself that stretch. Take that time. Maybe add a layer. It was a nice chilly morning this morning. I can say it was chilly. I feel like we've just gone straight into fall. Give yourself that room to give yourself a stretch. Add maybe a layer, maybe socks or a sweatshirt. And then start thinking about where you would like to relax for final Shavasana, final relaxation. You can, I actually recommend in this morning energy class to keep your feet on the floor, knees to the ceiling. You know, my intention is to wake up a little bit and get moving. If you are interested in just taking full relaxation, lengthening the legs, relaxing the hands next to your hips, palms up, that's perfectly okay. You could take seated meditation. If you want to actually keep your energy all the way up, you find that position that's going to work for you. We're going to close our eyes and relax our breath. Soft, easy inhale. Soft, silent exhale. Let's draw our attention and awareness in the state and quality of our forehead. Notice all those tiny little muscles and nerve endings. And let's feel the forehead smooth out, getting a little heavier toward the floor in the temples. Unclench the teeth, relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. And let's take a moment to soften the face down through the jaw, through both sides of the neck. Let's slide down those strap muscles, relax that energy. Little shrug of the shoulders, feel the energy drain and feel the shoulder blades get a little heavier toward the floor. Relax through biceps and triceps. A little rotation of the forearm, wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. And then we're going to release the upper body into the mat. Feel the length of the spine from the base of the neck down through the space in the ribs. Little rock side to side of the torso, little rock side to side of the hips. Feel the glutes release their energy and let the torso take rest against the mat. Let's relax the energy through the quads. Wrap that around through the hamstrings and the space of the back of the knee. Little flexion of the calves, little rock side to side of the legs. Wiggle the toes, roll the ankles, and then let the lower body take its rest against them. Pulling the attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. If some of the things are on our to-do list are starting to wake up, let's move them off to the side. You're going to hold this silence for a little while longer. Soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale, and just follow that breath into and out of the lungs. Let's draw some deeper breaths into the lungs. Big inhale, big exhales. Just take 2 or 3 of those. Get that breath moving. Let's take a little wiggling of the fingers and rolling the wrists, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. We're going to reach those arms out. Take a big stretch to the side of the body first, and then we'll slide those arms up over the head. Give me that big, long, yawning, getting out of bed stretch. Releasing hands down to hips. I'm going to take a knee up and give it a squeeze. Bring the other knee up and give it a squeeze. Let's take some rocking side to side. Just roll from one hip across the low back to the other. Until you're ready to rock completely to one side, resting your head on your arm. Just take a breath or 2 right there, noticing the support of the floor beneath you. We're going to slowly work ourselves up off the mat and come back to comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Take a little rock side to side. Let's roll those shoulders back. I'm going to cup the fingertips over the tops of the knees. I'm going to take a big lean in one direction and really drag my weight against that arm, stretching from the back of the ear all the way down to the elbow. Bowing the chin forward to shift that lean to the other side. Releasing on down, let's just settle our weight, stacking shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips, taking a moment to scan the body, checking in state and quality of the physical form. Let's pull that attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking and just notice what's going on in the brain. Maybe our to-do list is starting to warm up. We want to move those items into that queue with a little bit of elbow room. And then let's take some notice of that natural intuitive breath. It's really what drives our day. It's what keeps us fueled. We don't really give it any attention until it's, hindered in some way. Wherever you are in that moment, let's release practice. I'm going to reach on down toward the mat, and then I'm going to take this big long stretch up toward the ceiling. You do not have to join me if that's not going to fuel your jump. Nice big stretch up. Letting all of that go, taking a moment to honor your body for doing what you asked it to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. Thank you so much for joining me online for yoga. I know it's not ideal, but it keeps me safe, it keeps you safe, and it keeps our groove going. My name is Julia. If you have any questions, this is the fucking yoga company. Email me, yoga@jclynn.com. You can hit the website, the THEEFFING, yogablog.com. The schedule is there. There are purchase links. You can email me about becoming a sustaining member. I stole that from NPR. Yes, I did. Or finding some loyalty packs that might work for you. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, there's a yoga book coming out soon. The fucking yoga book. Yoga for the rest of us. All of the benefits, none of the bullshit. Part 1 is going to be coming out shortly. If you are a sustaining or loyalty member, keep an eye out. I'm going to be sending a cover peek soon. Outside of that, guys, enjoy the day. I hope the Monday treats you as well as, if not better than, our yoga did this morning. Thank you for joining me.